Let's get straight to the point. We need the Boondocks back. We need the Boondocks back. It's been over a decade since the last episode aired. This isn't it. The Boondocks predicted literally everything. Usher stealing people's girls, the R. Kelly trial. They even predicted DL rappers. The Boondocks is genuinely a classic. They even teased it coming back a couple years ago, but that never materialized. What happened? I know some of you are probably thinking the world's too soft now for the Boondocks. That's not true, because South Park is still running. Wait, is South Park still running, right? Yeah, South Park is still running. South Park season 27 is not expected to premiere until 2025. If South Park can have 27 seasons, then the Boondocks can come back. They do wild things on South Park. 27 seasons is insane. Anyway, I'm going to present a case to you today as to why the Boondocks should come back. Exhibit A. The rise of Dr. Umar. Are you telling me that Dr. Umar isn't a real life Boondocks character? Are you telling me that Dr. Umar isn't a real life Boondocks character? Okay, this man has some of the wildest quotables of the modern era. Just imagine a Boondocks episode featuring this guy. It would be unimaginable. Do you understand the potential? Dr. Umar versus Uncle Ruckus. This is what we're missing out on, bro. What happens when you put a super coon in a room with a professional hotep? That's Godzilla versus Ghidorah vibes. Clash of the Titans. That would be complete cinema. The episode wouldn't even need a plot. I just need Uncle Ruckus and Dr. Umar in a room arguing. 30 minutes straight, I'm good. I need an episode of Dr. Umar just straight flaming Thomas Dubois. An episode of him and Riley debating. Guys, we're missing out on greatness. By the way, if you don't know who Dr. Umar is, you are genuinely missing out on some of the funniest content you can find online. I don't know if the guy is doing a persona or not, but I genuinely hope that that is his true authentic self, because he says the wildest things. I'll be genuinely disappointed if the person that we see Dr. Umar being on character isn't who he really is in real life. I'll actually be hurt.
It only takes a little bit of white brainwash to activate the coon chip in the average Negro.
Exhibit B. The Drake, J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar beef. Okay, let's first address J. Cole, because this guy is one of the main reasons why the beef started, why we were finally gonna get the quote-unquote 3 best rappers going at it. This guy disses Kendrick Lamar on a song, then later gets on stage and apologizes before Kendrick Lamar has even responded to the initial diss. As a J. Cole fan, I was so tight. I know Riley would have been dying watching that go down, because I know a J. Cole hater when I see one. Huey, on the other hand, is definitely a huge J. Cole fan, and I know that he would have been just as disappointed as me. It would have been so funny to see how both characters handled that situation, because I won't lie, me personally, I lost a lot of ratings for J. Cole. This might be very controversial, by the way. This may be very controversial, but listen, J. Cole is yet to reach the heights that he got to in 2014. In fact, I'd argue that J. Cole pre-2014 is better than J. Cole post-2014. Because for me, he peaked in 2014, and don't get it twisted, 2014 was a high peak. The album was sensational, no skips. But yeah, that's my opinion on J. Cole right now. If I'm tripping, let me know. But anyway, after J. Cole quit the beef, the Boondocks coverage of the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar would have been goated. How many diss tracks even dropped again? All I know is that the Boondocks would have done magical things with OV Ho. You would have had Granddad and Riley crip walking in the living room. Today Not Like Us. Are you telling me that would not have been hilarious? An episode that I'd pay to see, spend money out of my own pocket, is an episode of Riley making his own song on the BBL Drizzy beat. You know, the challenge that Metro Boomin put out? Because I know that Riley would have submitted his own song. In fact, get me in the writer's room. I'm too good at this. Giving out ideas for free. I must be stupid. Listen to me. If the Boondocks comes back and they start doing the ideas that I have suggested in this video, I want my bag, because I'll deserve my money. Exhibit C. The Montgomery Brawl. Come on, people, let's be serious. This situation comes straight out of a Boondocks episode. Do you guys remember the Montgomery Brawl? This right here was a movie. I remember when it first hit the internet. The memes were stupid. The moment I saw the brother beating people with the chair, I was like, the fact that this situation isn't scripted is wild. Unc threw that hat up in the air like Bobby Schmurder and summoned the Mandem. That hat was the bat symbol. He saw the ops about to pull up and was like... Speaking of pull-ups, you have some legendary pull-ups in this sequence. This guy comes swimming over. You have these three pulling up. I call them the Trident, and they get to boxing. Then you have these two. Man, how did we end up here? I don't know, bro. Mink, you even have the person who hit the lady with the chair. This situation was wild. They even have the chair out there like it's a statue. This has to be the same chair from this situation. This isn't a game. The Montgomery Brawl needed Boondocks coverage. That's why. That is exactly why we need the Boondocks back. I can't give you a better example than the Montgomery Brawl. Just because I feel like that's the best example I can give you, that doesn't mean I'm done building this case. We have more things to get through. Exhibit D. The Trump assassination attempt. It's still crazy to believe that we lived through a moment in history. This picture right here is gonna be in the history books that our kids read. Something that we were all joking about online, our kids are gonna learn in school. Honestly, I can't think of how the Boondocks would have handled this situation, but I know it would have been hilarious. Because what they did when Obama became president still makes me laugh to this day. That's some of the funniest content I've ever consumed. Dick riding Obama. Who thought of that? You know this dance that's been going viral recently? That came out of the Boondocks and the song they made about Obama when he became president. In fact, the Boondocks probably would have covered the whole presidential run. Trump versus Biden, Biden clearly being too old to run for president, people watching his speeches and having no idea what he's saying, the introduction of Kamala Harris, all of it. It would have been so good. But nah, they want to leave us with nothing. Exhibit E, Ocean Gate. Do you guys remember Ocean Gate? How could you forget? Who would forget a group of billionaires going to the bottom of the ocean to see the goddamn Titanic in what was essentially a submarine made out of aluminium foil, vibes, and a dream, piloted by a Logitech controller?
Really, nigga?
Look at this thing. What is this controller even for? Is it a bootleg controller, bro? Listen to me. These people let a madman in a tin can take them to the bottom of the ocean. Said tin can was piloted by a random game controller. The moment I saw the controller, I'm leaving. What do I look like? I know Huey would have had something profound to say about that situation as well. Personally, my whole beef with that situation is why the Titanic specifically. It's not significant to your life whatsoever. If they were trying to go as deep as possible in the Marianas Trench, I'd be like, that makes sense. That's something worthwhile exploring because we don't know what's down there. But if you want to see the Titanic, just Google it. Even if they were able to go to the bottom of the ocean to see it, you would have been looking at it through a screen anyway. Those people clearly had more money than sense, because how much did it even cost for them to go down there anyway? If I'm remembering correctly, it was like 250k to 500k to do it. What? You haven't seen rusted metal before? Because that's what the Titanic is. Google shipwreck and you'll be satisfied, I promise. The submarine was piloted by a controller, for God's sake. Who signed off on this? Ocean Gate might be the stupidest situation that has come out of the 20s. I don't think we're gonna have anything that tops that. Exhibit F. Freaky ass niggas. Okay, listen. So this exhibit has been broken down into 3 separate subcategories. We're gonna start off with P. Diddy. Listen, the Boondocks would have done incredible things with no Diddy. You saw what they did with the R. Kelly trial. Imagine what they could have done with all of the dirt that has come out on P. Diddy. Even the name Diddy sounds like the name of a sex offender. Let Riley find out that P. Diddy had 1,000 bottles of baby oil seized from his properties. That would have been absolute cinema. Especially because the P. Diddy situation spreads across so many high profile celebrities. This situation is deep, and all of his Diddy parties. You had the police out here categorizing these parties as freak-offs. There's so much material to work with surrounding the P. Diddy situation, and he hasn't even gone to trial yet. I think even Diddy's mum was involved in some of the freak-offs.
This is a sick Negro.
Exhibit F.1, Gangstalicious, aka Meek Mill. Listen, I'm not saying anything about Meek Mill, but we have all heard the audio. It's not looking very good. That's all I'm saying. Things are looking very scary. No dreams, just nightmares. Even if you're a big Meek Mill fan, you have to admit it's not looking very gangster. In fact, it's looking very licious, if you know what I mean. If it comes out that Meek Mill and P. Diddy were like some kind of thing, I don't even know, bro. Exhibit F.2, R. Kelly. The R. Kelly situation just needs to be revisited because they predicted that perfectly. R. Kelly is a nasty human being and doesn't get flamed enough. I don't care how good Ignition was, bro. The man's disgusting. They could have a whole episode titled I Told You So, where QB runs the gauntlet on all the people who are making fun of him for going against R. Kelly. In fact, I need a Boondocks rendition of the Gayle King interview. That would be, oh, that'll be so funny, man. And this is all we're missing out on. This is greatness, actual greatness. We can have this back, but for some reason, they don't want to bring the Boondocks back. Exhibit G, Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg. Weren't these two supposed to have a cage fight? I'm certain that that was something that was in the works. What happened? Because I heard that this fight was meant to be happening in the Coliseum. I won't lie to you, I want to see it. Personally, I think Zuckerberg beats that ass because Elon Musk is built like Thursday. That doesn't make sense, but when you think about it, it does. Who is built like this? Listen, I need the Boondocks to animate it. I need Riley to instigate it. The episode can be called the billionaire nigger moment because that's what it was. The moment I heard that they were trying to have it in the Coliseum, I was like, damn, they're just having a rich off because only two insanely rich people could hire out, could rent out the Coliseum. The fight wasn't just about hands, it was about their pockets as well. Listen, hiring out the Coliseum to try to recreate what used to happen in it is high-key wild. How much do you think it would cost to rent out the Coliseum? No, but for real. Look how this man is built, that's diabolical. Why does he look like an adult baby? Ladies and gentlemen, the case has been built. We are at our final exhibit. Omelay. An honorable mention has to be the Omelay incident. If you don't know what the Omelay incident is, I don't believe you exist. You must have just got here. Because the Omelay incident is one of the biggest pieces of drama to come out of the UK. They had the guy on Kai Cenat's stream, bro. And I know the Boondocks would have cooked with that. And ultimately, that's my issue. The Boondocks was so good and clearly unfinished. I don't really understand why we can't have it back. I know the voice actor for Granddad passed away. Rest in peace to John Witherspoon. If that's the reason why they won't bring the show back, because they want to bring all of the cast back together, I respect that. But I won't lie to you. Every time a Boondocks worthy situation comes up, I'm going to reminisce. Don't let me get enough money because I will buy the IP myself and bring the show back. I started watching the Boondocks when I was like 9. I should not have been watching that show. My older brother put me onto it and I love that shit, man. That show is so good. And the community around it is still massive. If the show came back, there wouldn't be any financial issues. So there has to be something going on behind the scenes to make it make sense because bringing it back is justified. But yeah, those are my reasons why I believe that the Boondocks should come back. If you can think of any other Boondocks worthy situations that I haven't put in this video, put them in the comment section below. Other than that, like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, take care. I'll see you guys next time I upload.